Salve a tutti, io sono TheLoneGamer e bentornati su Deponia Doomsday. Oggi il professor Rufus si metterà a giocare con lo spazio-tempo e intrappolerà tutti in una dimensione parallela molto particolare, dove pare che non solo altri viaggiatori del tempo siano rimasti intrappolati, ma anche la Gal del futuro. Buona visione! Perfetto, eccoci ritornati in compagnia del professor Rufus, che a quanto pare sta insegnando ai suoi studenti come creare un portale temporale, un'anomalia che dir si voglia. Abbiamo tuttavia una studentessa che chiaramente ce l'ha con noi, ma vabbè, facciamo finta di nulla per adesso. Allora, diamo anche un'occhiata in giro per il campus. Un ombrello? Perché c'è l'ornitorinco dovunque? E hanno un'ossessione davvero per quel cocchio di animale.
Oh, that must be McChronicle's umbrella. Always prepared for anything, always assuming the worst. And everything, as always, without any style whatsoever.
Da che pulpito, ciccio, ma vabbè, dettagli.
Remember, observe the anomaly, take notes, and give me a good evaluation at ratemyprof.org.
Ma cos'è? No, esiste veramente come sito? Adesso devo andare a controllare. Giovani, avete finito di giocare? Andate a studiare?
What are you doing?
What does it look like?
Oh, of course. You couldn't know. Oh, of course you couldn't know. It looks like two blind chickens wandered into the field.
Further proof, if it were needed, that eyesight counts for nothing. We are professionals in our field.
Uh-huh. Hitting the old junk ball?
Battering smartasses.
Oh.
Don't worry, he hasn't completed his training yet. That's why he's using the training bag.
Training bag? That looks to me more like a Drexican pinata.
Typical sighted person. It's not always about how things look.
But rather than it rains candy?
No, but that doesn't hurt, right?
Adesso voglio di caramelle. Allora, vediamo di andare da questa parte. Buongiornissimo. C'è una leva? Che succede se tiro la leva? Buongiorno. Wow! Ok. Non avevo notato che c'era una capretta che stava mangiando una bandiera. E se ritiriamo sulla leva, l'altra bandiera si scambia e quindi la capretta passa da una zona all'altra. Ok, per nulla strano. Bacheca degli annunci.
Photos of baby wombats. Deponia 4 walkthrough for sale. Hey, that looks interesting. Do you want to share my lunch with me? Love to. I'm hungry. Now all I have to do is find this romantic ninja.
Sperando ovviamente che non sia uno dei nostri studenti. Diamo comunque un'occhiata in giro per il campus. McChronicle! Papà ti ha messo in punizione col cappello d'asino. Ma stia scherzando?
What are you doing here? You should be lecturing.
I just wanted to stretch my legs.
Then stretch them back to the lecture hall. And don't come back until the bell is rung. Go on then. Hop to it.
Sto tizio già mi sta profondamente sui maroni. Vabbè, allora vediamo di ritornare in classe, perché non mi sembra che ci sia molto che possiamo fare qua fuori. A meno che... Aspetta, possiamo andare al piano superiore. Buongiorno. C'è un ornitorinco albino sul
It
tetto.
reminds me of someone. My tax consultant?
Tu non hai un commercialista, questo è poco ma sicuro. Abbiamo recuperato anche un cestino della lavagna.
Nothing's ready for the garbage pail yet.
Ok, che per adesso è completamente vuoto. Una grondaia.
Flows downhill, but it flows.
Ah, se dobbiamo buttare di sotto qualcosa, questo è il luogo adatto. Un'impalcatura.
Hey, I found the scaffold.
Non l'ho capita, forse è un meme. Ci sta per ornitorinchi. Oh, la possiamo mettere sull'impalcatura. Ottimo. Ma come attiriamo l'animale? Non sembra molto interessato. Ok, per adesso vediamo di recuperarla. Ci serve probabilmente del cibo o un bel maschione come il nostro ornitorinco qua. A proposito, ragazzi, qualcuno sa chi è sto ninja e tutte cose? Magari uno di voi tre idioti?
Does one of you by any chance go by the name of Romantic Ninja?
Mr. Rufus, please don't.
Oh mio Dio, sei tu.
Romantic Ninja?
How embarrassing.
Did you know that he's a romantic ninja? That according to this note, he bears the black belt in the arts of love.
I wish the ground
No,
would
per
be soft.
favore, dai, Rufus, poretto.
We didn't know that.
That must be because he merges with the shadows of loneliness. Or so it is written by him. Luckily, I found this note because if you are threatened on the battlefield of love,
Dai, non
which apparently
infierire.
applies to me,
Threatened? My katana has ripped your heart to shreds.
he offers the following. Do you want to share my lunch with me?
Here, you can have it. I've lost my appetite.
Che figura di M, peggio di
Thank
Nugget
you,
su
romantic
Kindergarten.
ninja. Your courage and generosity will not be forgotten.
Oh, ok, ha
What
funzionato.
would happen if I were to hold this lunch in there?
Me. Time passes much quicker in the anomaly than outside, so the sandwich will get old.
Ma non sprechiamo un buon panino, che adesso c'ho fame.
Well, anyone could have foreseen that. Now it's only good for duck food, and I have to cut my fingernails again.
Ah, giusto, anche la sua mano invecchiata. Aspetta. Cibo per
I've
anatre.
been doing those time travel experiments for years. I still find remnants under the sofa.
Ah, tutto molto interessante. Quindi se mettiamo il suddetto panino che unesca nella cesta. Oh oh!
Good bait catches fine fish, unless you're into worms, in which case you can cut out the middleman.
Sì, tutto molto interessante. Quindi ritorniamo alla torre, rimettiamo la cesta sull'impalcatura. Dai, vieni qua, forza. E voilà, in men che non si dica, abbiamo catturato la nostra preda. Allora, ho la vaga impressione che dobbiamo far eccitare il nostro ornitorinco maschio. Questa mi sembra un'ornitorinca femmina.
Let's see if this can motivate him.
Ah, in modo tale che generi molta più energia, perché è stanco. Vediamo un po'. Ok, ha funzionato anche meglio del previsto.
Yikes! What's going on?
Me.
Stereo monocle?
My name's Norbert, Professor.
Nerdbert? I can remember that.
No,
And
con la
your
O,
answer
Ciccio.
is-
The inflow of energy caused the expansion of the anomaly to increase. We are now inside simulated interim time.
And then all of a sudden, time just flies by.
Mama.
Come,
She said
scusi?
only inside the bubble.
Correct answer, but points off for interrupting. Underbite Valkyrie.
Her name is Hildebrain.
Huh, their parents were jokers, were they?
No, Scraplanders. She's an exchange student.
And I'm Daniel Glandular.
And am I supposed to remember that now or what?
Oh, ha suonato la campanella quindi,
Yippee,
perfetto.
School's out.
Don't you want to turn the anomaly off first?
Lesson 2, never want to do something that somebody else can do.
Ok, come faccio a fermarlo?
Keeps working like that. I'm sure this story will eventually come to a happy end.
No, non penso, dobbiamo bloccarlo in qualche modo. Oh! Oh mio Dio. Ricordo quella volta che mi fito l'ombrello in mezzo ai raggi della bicicletta, ho fatto un volo assurdo, mi sono fatto malissimo. E l'ombrello non era neanche mio.
Shame.
Oh, just when it was getting exciting. Boo!
Everything comes to an end. Get used to it.
Ok, abbiamo rovinato una storia d'amore, ma vabbè dettagli, quindi finalmente posso ritornare dal preside qua. Buongiorno, scusi, decano.
Were you able to stem the damage that my son has wreaked upon those poor students?
STEM? I eradicated it. Which damage were you referring to?
Those stupid ideas about time travel, of course. Junior claims, in all seriousness, to be able to create time anomalies. He says he's built a machine in his shed that can travel back and forth through time.
Ok, buono sapersi, ci potrebbe tornare utile.
And he holds lectures on the subject behind my back. Thankless firebrand.
Firebrand?
Chi? Quello lì, davvero?
He always seemed to me to be so careful. Downright boring.
Ugh, I wish. Imagine it. My son, of all people. A dreamer. A fantasist.
Quelli sono i peggiori, santo cielo.
Anarchist.
Oh mio Dio, che schifo. Come vi azzardate a sognare, ad avere delle ambizioni, gente. Ambizioni. Che poi, scusi, signor decano, lei ha notato che è tipo un bambino, vero? Cioè, deve aver creato qualche anomalia temporale. Ma ovvio, dettagli. È troppo strano quel cappello così, un portacenere.
You smoke?
Not anymore. Although on days like this, I wish I'd never quit.
Isn't that a little unreasonable at your age?
The nicotine chewing gum was worse. Destroyed all my baby teeth.
Ah, ecco perché c'è una dentiera con... non volevo saperlo. Una chiave, scusi,
Hands
la prendo
off.
io.
That's the key to Junior's laboratory. The whole place is contaminated with crazy ideas.
Ah, le idee assurde. Dobbiamo assolutamente distruggere tutto. Bello.
Birds don't need warning signs. They're free! Free!
Rufus, non far danni, cortesemente. Porco cane!
And if they want to fly into stained glass windows, they have the right to do so.
Ah, l'avevano messo per evitare che gli uccelli si schiantassero. Non ha un bel aspetto. Perché l'uccello ha un ombelico, peraltro. Non possono avere ombelichi gli uccelli? No! Come, scusa? Vabbè, tanto è bello che è morto, voglio
This
dire.
is not a pipe? Man, the artist really missed the boat on that one.
Vabbè, ma è una famosissima opera francese, Ceci n'est pas un pipe. Ma vabbè, dettagli. Gliela
It
ciuli?
is so a pipe. You can't pull the wool over a Rufus's eyes.
Sì, non è così che funziona l'arte, Rufus, ma vabbè.
They are pretty. They are colorful. And more importantly, they aren't part of some stupid mosaic puzzle.
Non ancora, non è detta l'ultima parola. È abbastanza ovvio che non possiamo parlare con McChronicle, purtroppo. E dobbiamo mandarla fuori. Aspetta un attimo. Piccoli fettentoni, mi sono appena accorto che avete delle erbe qua dietro.
That must be the student tobacco Lonzo's always talking about. A plant whose normal habitat, funnily enough, seems to be the balcony of shared student apartments.
Ah, tutto molto interessante. Vediamo di recuperarne un
The plant
campioncino.
smells like Lonzo's back room whenever that thrash metal band comes to visit.
Ah, Rufus, sei praticamente un bambino innocente. Questo è il laboratorio di coso, di McChronicle. E la porta è ovviamente chiusa.
Anything else would have been a disappointment, to be honest.
Rufus si sta arrendendo alla sua stessa vita dopo un po'. Quindi fatemi capire bene se facciamo così. Oh, ha funzionato anche meglio del previsto. Abbiamo una pipa riempita. Ho capito, Ciccio, ho capito. Perfetto, questa la possiamo casomai ridare al signor decano, che magari si dà una calmata. Ciccio, c'hai una scopa su per il culo. Fatti una bella fumata che ne hai bisogno.
My old pipe. That's just what I need right now.
Non è un po' giovane per fumare, scusi?
Oh, strong stuff, this tobacco.
Sì, certo,
Yeah.
tabacco.
It reminds me of my college days. We were so crazy back then.
Bravo, bravo, fuma, ricordati dei bei tempi andati, Ciccio.
Oh, Lala Cuckoo! Wasn't very good for us. We experimented with everything. With plants, with toys.
E allora perché rompe le palle a suo figlio, santo cielo? Lo lasci libero?
Yeah, with women, of course.
Voi di donne non ne avete vista neanche una, forse nelle riviste.
I don't really want to hear that.
Mrs. McChronicle was one hot chick.
Ok.
Too much information.
I was even more crazy than he is today. My mother didn't like it at all. She never wanted me to go to university. I was supposed to take over my father's business in the garage. Rocco McChronicle. He said playing with time would only end in tears. What my butt for my girlfriend. And I was already 25.
Oh, che vita difficile, santo cielo. Senta, almeno è diventato decano di una grande università? Ok, è andato fuori di cervello. Me la presta la chiave adesso?
May I?
I don't know. If you may, I may, right?
Sure.
Yippee!
Ok, perfetto. Quando ci sono problemi con una persona, tagli le droghe. McChronicle.
McDiaper Pants.
Ma no, ma
Your
cosa?
father is distracted. We can go.
Go without me. He's right. I need to think about my errors.
No, he isn't. There are temporal anomalies.
I know. We created them, and as a result, ruined everything.
What, and your plan is to give up now? When everything is at its worst?
Don't you understand? It's always at its worst. This here is no loop. It's a downward spiral.
Ok, al diavolo, per adesso vediamo di far ripartire quindi la macchina del tempo, che sicuramente si troverà all'interno del suo laboratorio. Come ho detto, sarà probabilmente un prototipo di quella che ha utilizzato per raggiungerci all'inizio del gioco, che era brutta come lo
boy,
schifo.
This looks just a touch more complicated to me.
Oh, avanti Rufus, non
Something
ti
tells me that
demoralizzare.
for once, I'm actually going to require a little assistance.
Beh, per fortuna siamo pieni zeppi di studenti, serbatoio per
It
tacchioni.
smells like feta cheese. A
No, cioè no, è buono il
professional
feta, anzi.
needs no further evidence to know what to do now.
Feta, adesso ci vuole di feta. Rubinetto di bronzo.
Yeah, this is nothing but waste oil. Somehow I had expected liquid bronze.
Perché bronzo liquido? Dovresti mantenerlo a elevate temperature per renderlo liquido, Genius. A posto. E lo riempiamo con dell'olio arancido.
Yeah.
A cosa ci può
This is
servire?
nothing but waste oil. I have to get rid of it somehow.
Disfarmene, ok? Grazie, è un ottimo indizio. Dobbiamo ritornare. No, Rufus, dovevo far cose?
Ah, you're still here.
Of course, Mr. Rufus. After all, we are on the cusp of an epochal discovery.
And anyway, there are junk ball jocks waiting outside the lecture hall again.
They'll have to wait. We are going on an excursion. Pack your things. We're off to...
Ma
the
cosa
neighboring
mo?
building. Thanks, Hildebrain. Somewhat misplaced, but you still get a star.
Wow! Cool.
Impressive, isn't it? What is it?
Me.
Ah, Nerdberg?
C'è sempre
An
Secchione.
impulse-induced tachyon field generator?
Popularly known as a...
Macchina
Anyone?
del tempo,
Perhaps,
idiota.
Chubby over there.
Time portal machine?
Time portal machine, precisely. Because it creates a time portal. But where?
Ma come parla quella avanti?
Sure, of course, the interim time. The turquoise tunnel, as we experts also call it. And now, for the master question. How to turn that thing on.
Turn it on? But,
All right, people, I want discussion.
That thing at the front must be the tachyon tank.
What, the milk bottle with the bicycle pump?
you need a substance that emits tachyons.
Ugh, by the smell, I'd say it used to contain feta cheese.
And you have to adjust the nozzles so they concentrate on the thinnest place in space-time. You can detect a so-called potential portal with 4D glasses.
Guarda, li ho lasciati negli altri pantaloni.
4D glasses, feta cheese, anything else?
You're not intending to open a portal into interim time, are you?
And why not?
McChronicle says it's too dangerous. It could perforate the whole of space-time.
Oh, non dovevate dirlo.
Oh, hogwash. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. You can't win if you don't buy a ticket.
Will that be in the exam?
Stai zitto ragazzino che ti picchio male male. Allora, aspetta un attimo, feta e abbiamo una capra. Oh no. Dobbiamo mungere la capra? Prima tuttavia dobbiamo andare alla torre di nuovo, perché ci aveva detto di svuotare il secchio. Dove? Nella grondaia. Forse questo ci aiuterà con la capra? Ok, ritorniamo di sotto. Gal, vuoi venire a darci una mano sotto cielo? Sei lì a far nulla tutto il giorno praticamente, ragazzina. Ok, proviamo a ritirare la leva, ma non penso farà grande differenza. Vediamo un po'. Ah, è scivolata! Oh marone. Ok, non mi ero accorto che il contenuto della grondaia poi finisse esattamente qua sotto. Andiamo a parlare con i signori mezzi ciecati.
And strike.
Ma povera capretta, avanti.
What's going on? My mucous membranes are swelling up. Oh, anaphylactic shock. It's my goat's hair allergy.
Minchia, che cosa specifica però, eh. Oh, quelli sono occhiali, aspetta.
Bravo! You finally hit something dead on. My sense of humor.
Questo vuol dire che possiamo recuperare gli occhiali da
That
Groucho?
reminds me of my brief career as an industrial spy in the Schlonzer sausage mines. I still don't know how my cover was blown.
Già, sicuramente non per il pessimo travestimento. Ottimo. Capretta, ti ho beccato finalmente.
These barbarians should be reported to the Goat Protection Society. The poor animal should have been milked long ago.
Ah, in quel senso, mungiamola noi.
Stay away from our junk ball training bag.
I already told you that's a goat. Where do you think the bleeding comes from?
From my wife, of course. She's always bleeding on at me, claiming that my sports things are actually animals, nuns, or the neighbor's children. But how, pray tell, would a goat manage to get down here to the underwater palace?
Okay. Suppose that it isn't a goat. Can I still milk it?
Of course, help yourself. But be careful, sometimes they bite.
Quanto siete ciecati! Cioè, palazzo sottomarino dove? Rincretinito maledetto! E mi ha dato ovviamente del feta.
That smells like the...
Sì, ho capito l'indizio, ciccio. Allora, abbiamo questi occhiali, più dei frammenti. Facciamo così.
Hey, these pieces of glass would be perfect for my 4D glasses.
Così a random, senza nessuna spiegazione
Shame
scientifica.
they don't stick together on their own.
Ok, ci serve qualche tipo di collante, quindi per te incollarli sopra, o dello scotch, o altro, o del miele, non lo so nemmeno io. Allora, per adesso ritorniamo dentro e mettiamo il feta nel coso di tacchioni. Quindi per viaggiare nel tempo serve il feta.
Who can tell me why it's a good idea to put feta cheese into the tank?
You probably built some 4D glasses and realized that the cheese emits tachyons, right?
False.
Then it was a trick question, because it is not a good idea at all.
Correct answer.
Come no? Pensavo fosse una buona idea. Avete detto che odore di feta? C'è qualquadra che mi sfugge. Allora, ritorniamo là fuori. Prima dobbiamo craftare questi occhiali in qualche modo. Ah, aspetta un secondo. Il gioco mi dice che posso interagire con la sedia.
Uh-huh.
Una gomma da masticare, ma che
Someone was
schifo.
chewing gum in my class and didn't give me any, except for the fresh box lunch. It's gonna rain homework.
Ma datti una calmata, Ciccio. Cal, come stai, Stellina?
And are you coming along?
Well, I can't see the sense in that.
Was that a yes or a no?
Ho la vaghissima impressione che ce l'abbia giusto un ciccinino ancora con noi. Allora, il decano parlava di gomma da masticare, però lui serve la nicotina, guarda caso c'è un
I don't
portacenere.
know much about the production of nicotine gum, but I have chewing gum, and that contains nicotine.
Sì, ma vecchia di quanto? No, ma che schifo.
Homemade nicotine gum. Should work, right?
No, ti causerà probabilmente qualche malattia o altro. Che schifo.
Nicotine chewing gum? Oh boy, I've just realized that I've got the munchies. Wait, I'll just put my toothy pegs back in.
No, per favore non lo faccia. No, metta via la dentiera. Oh, che schifo. A posto?
Fantastic. Oh, yummy.
Ok, almeno è contento. E in tutto questo cosa abbiamo ottenuto?
I'm feeling fantabadoozy.
Guardalo lì. Sì, è tutto felice lui. Oh, adesivo dentale.
Master Whistlehole's dental adhesive, because you know that life is good when your teeth stay where they should. Please ensure dentures are pointing in the right direction during insertion.
Ah, beh sì, perché se te li ficchi invece sulla gengiva non è il massimo. Quindi se combiniamo i due oggetti... Occhiali 4D.
I present to you the 4D glasses. Makes potential time portals visible and raises cinema admission prices by the power of 2.
Ok, ottimo. Allora, ritorniamo al laboratorio e vediamo quindi di utilizzare i suddetti occhiali 4D. Rufus, ce la
Tell me
fai?
what this is.
Are those supposed to be 4D glasses?
It is a set of 4D glasses.
Is that stained glass from a window?
Don't
No.
touch. That is a highly sensitive, scientific whatnot. Ta-da! I present to you the 4D glasses. Makes potential time portals visible and raises cinema admission prices by the power of 2.
Sì, questa l'avevo già sentita, Rufus. Guarda che figo.
Ring.
Oh, I know! That must be a place where the dimension membrane between here and interim time is especially thin.
Not thinner than your derivation, nerdo. Exactly, Hildy. It's in the middle of the machine.
Oh, good. Then we don't need to calibrate it at all.
E questo mi aiuta in che modo?
Fortune has changed sides. Now the idiots are completely screwed.
Ok, però ancora non capisco perché non mi fai mettere il feta. Hanno detto che emette tacchioni.
What color are tachyons?
She means pink.
Then it is proven. Feta cheese emits tachyons.
Ok, ora ha
Write that
funzionato.
down.
E dobbiamo utilizzare quindi questo serbatoio. Ma è quello per fare il latte, quello che si usava una volta. Ok, anzi scusate, il formaggio, pardon.
There! The portal is open!
But that's way too small.
Maybe there isn't enough pressure on the tachyon jets.
More pressure. No problem. I'm a professional when it comes to generating pressure.
Sì, questo è poco ma sicuro. Stiamo per causare qualche danno alla struttura dello spazio-tempo, vero? Più? Premiamo un altro po'? Oh marone! Questo potrebbe essere un problema?
Gadzooks! There was another potential portal hidden under the carpet.
What are we gonna do now?
Yeah, but who knows if it's safe?
Nothing
Oh.
ventured, nothing gained.
Agronico!
Hurrah!
The tachyons must have spread out in the near vicinity of the portal. There's a relatively high probability that they have opened up portal to Kuvak.
And how high is high?
Haven't a clue. 1 in 1,000 maybe?
And
Wow,
that's
altissima, santo cielo.
Relatively, it's the only chance that we're going to get. And also, one more than we really deserve.
Speaking of which, I still have to pick Gola.
That means the leap into the unknown without any guarantee of being able to return has got to wait.
No, I'd rather go get her right away.
Sì, perché sennò si trova un altro motivo per odiarmi. Guardala! Mi fa incazzare troppo sotto cielo.
Goal! We did it! The guys and I have opened a time portal!
Wow, well done.
Con quanta gioia, non me lo dici, donna?
Don't be like that. I told you, I'll make it right again.
And I told you, go away.
Oh, come on, Goal. Take off the hat and...
Hey, hands off!
Oi là. È fuori di testa completamente,
I
eh?
understand where you're coming from. After all, that palaver with the platypus puppet theatre wasn't exactly subtle, was it?
Puppet theater? Oh, that yes, that was intentional.
But look at them. They're both trapped, without any hope. I'll never be able to escape my hamster wheel.
Wait, you think you're the platypus in the hamster wheel?
Of course. That one is clearly female. Look at her, she...
Credo sia il contrario, oh marone. È riuscito a
I
scappare?
knew it. There is hope.
Oh, è entrato nel portale.
Is the male.
At least she's now free.
Yes. Wow. Look how happy she is.
She'll recover.
State
On
zitti
the
che è
other
meglio.
hand, one shouldn't overuse metaphors.
Oh mio Dio, riesci a trovare tutte le scuse per rompere i maroni. E
What's
questa?
this?
Hey, give it back!
When did you do that?
While you were gadding about the fairground. What about it?
Oh mio Dio, l'hai fatto anche tu. Non ci credo. Non sono l'unico a aver fatto quello stupido giochino a Luna Park? Perché sorridi? E allora perché
And
ce
you
l'aveva
got
con me?
past the lover mat with that?
Well, someone had to make sure that things could carry on.
But then why are you so angry? Because we're not together in the photo?
No, because we are. An illusion. A snapshot giving the wrong picture. Or do you think that at the end of the day, we'll be sticking that picture into our photo album? Everything here is going to have to end up being undone and reversed, so that we can save the world, so that there will be no Fulocks on Elysium. That's how it has to be, right?
No, it isn't.
Then tell me one thing that will still remain of our adventures. If you can do that, then I'm happy to come.
Ha, easy. In the end, there's always one thing that remains.
E non dirà l'amore.
There, look at that.
Oh, sono ritornati. Buongiorno.
Hope. It doesn't matter. Let's go.
Oh, l'importante è che siano riusciti a tornare indietro. Erano più giovani, ma vabbè, dettagli. Ah, buongiorno.
What now?
Dove boia siamo finiti? Dove sono gli
That
altri?
looks like that interim we crossed in the time pod. But where did this city come from? And where are Goal and McChronicle? They jumped through the portal right before I did.
Ehi là, Ciccio, datti una calmata?
Get off of my porch.
Ah, a local. Can you tell me where I've landed?
In my turnip patch.
Wait a minute. Don't I know you? You're Glandula, the romantic ninja. Just
Veramente?
old and ugly. How is that possible?
Are you trying to talk your head off?
Don't you mean, am I trying to talk your ear off?
Not if I got my gun pointed right.
Sì, ma stai calmo.
Oh.
Ok, sembra che per lui sia passato decisamente un sacco di tempo, buzzurro.
Remorse would be entirely misplaced here. After all, he grew up to be a very passable guy indeed. I'm sure he's a great whistler. And I like what he's done with his hair.
No, è messo malissimo, poretto. Ah, possiamo ritornare fuori dal portale, vediamo un po'. Ce la fai, Rufus, a uscire?
Portal that leads to McChronicle's laboratory. Unfortunately out of reach.
Ah, ecco, mi sembrava strano. Ok, forse possiamo raggiungere quella cittadina che vediamo là sotto. Buongiornissimo.
Where the hell have I landed?
Are you lost, stranger?
No, I have a photographic sense of direction and always know exactly where I am.
Non è vero mai nella vita?
It's just the when has been a little confusing lately.
When doesn't mean a thing round here. You're in interim time, a space alongside the past, present,
And future, I know.
I was going to say perishable food. We don't have anything
okay.
like a future here. Rumour has it there used to be one. The portal building authorities are digging around looking for it in the foundations of interim time. But if you ask me, it's just newfangled nonsense.
No future.
2 other newcomers passed by here earlier. They asked about the future too. Friends of yours, perhaps?
Impossible. They were just with me.
Maybe out there. Here in interim time, the clocks tick a little different.
I see they have a few more hands, too.
Well, welcome to Paradox City. My name's Rocco McChronicle. If you've got any questions, I'll be happy to help you,
Rufus. And actually, I do have a couple. Rocco What the hell did you say?
È il nonno del nostro McChronicle, il padre del decano, peraltro.
Are you Rocco McChronicle? The father of Dean Angus McChronicle Sr.? And therefore our McChronicle's grandfather?
You must have confused me with someone else. I don't have a son, and if I did, I'm sure he wouldn't have become a dean. After all, I'm running a family business here.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about it. The last thing I need now is to accidentally prevent McChronicle's birth.
Sì, sarebbe un bel paradosso, Ciccio, ne sei capace?
You've seen my friends?
A sexy chick accompanied by a clever, handsome guy?
Not really. We were separated.
Well, two strangers certainly passed by earlier on. They met the old hermit. It looked as though they knew each other. They headed off to her farm, turn left at the town hall, and then continue up that way.
Ok, grazie, molto gentile.
I urgently need to get to Kuvak.
Doesn't ring any bells. Is it beyond interim time?
Of course.
Then you'd better be off asking the guys from the portal building authorities. They map the portals and know where each one leads.
Ma è praticissima sta cosa.
Hey, that's the time pod.
That there? That's been there since before I arrived. My father was going to repair it. That's why he founded the garage. Apparently it stopped being so important at some point. Like everything here.
Aspetta, ma Gal era scappata con questa? La Gal del futuro? Oh no, non mi dire che anche Gal è finita qua? Ok, diamo un'occhiata in giro. Vediamo di non gasarci più di tanto. Altre macchine del tempo. E quante cocche. Questa è a forma di pera. Porca di quella iperporca, mi sono davvero un sacco perso, Rufus. Prova a tirare giù.
Or do you have some kind of death wish that involves being ripped to shreds by a pack of Fulocks?
Well, I thought nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Don't think, soldier. It's war out here. And in war, there were only losers.
Ok, è un ottimo riferimento. Quindi ho sbagliato di nuovo strada. Ok, proviamo da quest'altra parte. McChronicle, buongiorno. Da quanto tempo sei qua?
You wouldn't believe who I met in the city.
My granddad. I know. He didn't recognize me.
No wonder. To him, you're not even born yet.
I guess I never will be. Even the slightest interventions change the timeline. In all probability, we prevented the birth of my father already.
Hogwash. I've seen everything possible and impossible in the last while, but nothing even remotely resembling a timeline. The whole thing is more like a fuzzy, knotted time skein than anything else.
It's okay, Rufus. I'm doing just fine. Isn't it incredibly interesting here?
Yeah, very picturesque. But we have to get a move on. Don't you remember? Where's Gold?
In the farmhouse. But there's no reason to hurry. Here in interim time.
The clocks run differently, I already know. Still, no reason to take our foot off the gas. One of these portals must lead to Kuvak. We used it earlier ourselves.
Yeah, it's that one there.
That one? I actually expected a few mind-bending puzzles first. But so much the better. Wait here. I'll go get Gold, and then we can go get our future back.
Ok, c'è peraltro della cacca che esce da questo portale? Non posso entrare, tanti saluti?
Now I just have to pick up Gold, and then that time loop cranking so-and-so is gonna have an out-of-body experience.
Mi sembra tutto troppo semplice. Conoscendo Rufus causerà qualche problema? Ok, abbiamo recuperato una zangola.
Oh, Butterfingers at work.
Ok, serve per fare il burro. Ok, è la versione non tachionica praticamente. Tesoro, sono a casa. Oh mio Dio.
No time for coffee, time to move.
Quella è Gol. E cioè Gal, scusate, ma vecchia.
Am I counting right? Your goal? I mean, your goal too.
And you are almost as perceptive as when I left you, Rufus, savior of the world, suicidal time traveler.
You forgot butt model. But how can that be?
Ma dai.
What are you doing here? Which goal are you?
She's the goal that you rescued from the future.
Yeah, and in return, she left me and Mac on Elysium, stole the time machine, and whoosh! That was the thanks we got.
I've not got such a talent for dramatic endings as you.
And you didn't get far either.
Yes. Perhaps I was a bit too quick off the mark there.
Davvero dici?
When I arrived in interim time, there was no future anymore. The tunnel had simply come to an end, and the autopilot was steering me directly at it. I had to crash land, and was stranded. For us, only a few hours have passed. For her, it's been a lifetime.
Why didn't you use one of the portals?
The portals only opened much later. At first, they were all out of reach. Then the Deponians started to throw their trash into interim time. The time travelers also started arriving from all sorts of pasts. Most were stranded here like me. We built Paradox City from the trash. We tried to reach the portals, but none of them led to the right time. Then When the first children were born, we realized that we had built ourselves a new home.
But now
Oh, che cosa dolce.
So come on.
Oh, questo decisamente non lo definirei molto normale, Rufus, io la butto là.
What was that? An earthquake?
We've only had one of those once before. The time when the portals opened.
Yeah, never a dull moment around here. Don't run off. I'm gonna go have a look.
Oh, non mi dire che i portali si sono aperti per causa nostra. Dove sono i portali? Mechronicle?
Come on. Where's the portal to Kuvak? And the others? All gone.
I think I have an explanation. When the tachyons poured into the open portal unchecked just now in the lab, we didn't only open the one portal, but also all the surrounding ones too. Portals leading to completely different places and times. As time passes much faster in here, they were open for years. A whole city was built whilst you fetched gold from the university. Shortly after you stepped through the portal, the anomaly closed behind you. In the lab, this was a blink of the eye. Here, countless minutes.
You mean this city only exists because we opened the portal earlier?
Really makes you think, eh?
Yeah, like for example, how do we get out of here now that the portals are closed?
I was thinking more of the moral implications. Well, what will happen to the people here if we restore the old timeline? Are we even allowed to do that?
I can't see any signs.
I noticed that too. You should get it looked at.
Beh, comunque questi sono fuori dalla linea temporale, quindi in teoria non dovrebbero subire nessun effetto.
Amazingly, there was still a bit of antidote left.
No, non rovinare il mio futuro, ti prego,
having
donna.
a good talk?
I'm just telling Goal about your stamp cannon.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't have used so much cheese.
Perché? Cosa serve?
Goal's hair may have lost its color, but it still smells like marshmallow candies.
Sei un pervertito assurdo. Ok, le rubiamo la spazzola, ottimo. Posso parlare anche lei, Gal, e mi sembra giusto.
She's totally confused. I probably would be too. She held up well.
Ah, tutto qua.
The portals have closed.
I'm sure you'll think of something.
I already thought of something.
No, you are not going to get a jetpack.
Aw, man.
Ti conosce troppo bene, Ciccio. L'altra Gal è completamente nel pallone, ha ragione lui.
The portals have closed. I have to try to open them again. Are you coming along?
Can't it wait? I'm having a conversation right now.
Of course. You can just sit here all day long talking to yourself.
You do that all the time too.
Actually, he's the one who talks all the time. I just listen.
Vabbè, lui chi? Lui chi? Un ornitorico a batteria.
What's that doing here?
I was going to use that for my last beat of the drum sculpture. I've been waiting for weeks for the battery to run out, but it just keeps going and going and going.
Ok, questo lo prendo io allora. Ottimo. Cos'altro abbiamo? Delle sculture?
You've become a sculptor?
I had a lot of time on my hands.
That excuses some things, but not everything.
E vabbè, fa sculture, che te frega? Non la rubare, Rufus.
Can I take that?
No, it's not finished yet.
I could finish it.
And just how are you going to finish it?
I can finish anything.
You're going to finish me off one of these days.
Oh!
Yes.
No.
Oh, we'll just take it then.
I will.
On your marks, go.
Ok, c'era tipo una sfera all'interno, ci potrebbe tornare utile.
And finish.
Okay, what just happened here?
Non farti domande, Rufus, che è completamente fuori di testa, ciccia. Un giorno forse lo capirai anche tu. Allora, non ci resta che ritornare indietro. Oh mio Dio, c'è il baretto, gente. No, ma guarda che l'insegna che è troppo carina. Oh, buongiorno. Questa non me l'aspettavo. Un uomo delle caverne.
That time traveler apparently comes from a completely different ethnic background. This is where my respect for foreign cultures and my diplomatic tact come into play.
Non funzionerà mai.
Ooga, ooga.
Good day, sir. I don't
Ma come?
believe I've had the pleasure. May I introduce myself? My name is Ang.
Hello. You understand what I say?
Rufus,
But
non
of
l'offendere.
course, communication is one of the most important attributes for the profession in which I work. I'm a trader, and it would be a true conviviality to engage in business with you. I vend in medicinal herbs for a healthy intestinal flora, in exchange for vintage art from the Neolithic period.
I give stone. You give
Pappapeti?
fire.
Cos'è?
I couldn't have put it better myself.
Ok, non l'abbiamo insultato per fortuna, ma per un secondo mi ero preoccupato. Salve Rita! Ah, che peccato.
And I'm also available on the cheap. My name's
come
Rita.
scusi?
Are you single?
No. Yes. It's complicated.
Don't waste my time. I'm almost 40 and I'm a waitress in the city with no future. Do you really think I'm interested in listening to you moaning on?
Well, you asked. I just wanted to...
Tick-tock, tick-tock. Do you hear that? That's my biological clock. Order something, propose to me, or move over for the next in line.
Non mi sembra che ci sia molta gente che la vuole bombare, signora.
Busy here. Anything free today?
Yeah, a tip for your girlfriend. As long as she hasn't got a ring on her finger, she shouldn't let her man walk around the city on his own.
No, I meant the food.
Why didn't you say so? We're out of Fulok soup. We've got toast and milk. Any other questions?
One order of toast and milk, please.
Got any money?
Nope.
Then your girlfriend must be blind.
Ma come? Avanti, un po' di rispetto. E quella è una DeLorean, l'ho notata solo adesso? Che poi scusate, a cosa vi servono tutti sti orologi se tanto il tempo non funziona da queste parti?
The portals are closed. Thought so.
Signora, sta calma, mi ha fatto cagare in mano.
Do you have a time machine?
Do you think I'd look like this if I had one? Time machines have become quite rare. Maverick has an instant change, but he'd rather run over his grandfather than take someone else on board. And then there's Vince, but he can only offer deterministic time travel. Firstly, that's boring, and secondly, Vince smells of prunes. Otherwise, I only know of the old time pod in Rocco's garage. No idea if that still works. So, if you need passage, just forget it. We're all stranded here. The best thing you can do is get married as quickly as possible.
Grazie dell'informazione, buona donna.
I hear that quite often. I really should unsubscribe from that dating platform.
Non so quanto sia frequentato, voglio dire, siete quattro gatti. Oh mio Dio! È lui? È lui?
Who's taking so long?
È lui! È chiaramente lui, il tizio che abbiamo incontrato all'inizio del terzo gioco. Oh, era il secondo. Adesso c'è un voto di memoria. Insomma, il tizio bloccato nel gabinetto. Signore, ha di nuovo la diarrea per caso?
Occupied! You plan on being done in the crapper anytime soon?
Don't rush me. I suffer from severe temporal constipation.
Ah, questa volta è l'opposto.
Temporal constipation? Not perhaps temporal diarrhea?
No, I'm over that. But how the crap...
Surprise, surprise, huh? I recognized your voice. You're the time crapper. The temporal toilet tourist, who apparently has made it his mission to clog every toilet in the entire
Ma no,
multiverse.
ma dai.
End times person?
Sono io, mi hai anche riconosciuto.
But I've only just met you. You gave me this wonderful toilet paper.
The money from Cletus's suitcase. I remember. But that was my other adventure, a version of the future which no longer exists, as if a huge plug were clogging everything up.
Oh, tell me about it. Oh, everything was flowing just fine. Now it's come to a standstill.
Exactly, but I'll get things back up and running.
Oh, that would be great.
Ok, questa volta dobbiamo trovare un modo per fargli passare la stitichezza. E il denaro che ha lui lo possiamo utilizzare per prendere un panino dalla signorina Rita. Oh mio Dio, sta accadendo letteralmente di tutto, gente. Buona signori, io direi che per questo episodio ci possiamo fermare qua. Ancora una volta un sacco di colpi di scena. Mi domando tuttavia se riusciremo a rimediare a questo piccolo problema. Nei commenti ovviamente fatemi sapere cosa ne pensate, lasciate un bel mi piace, altrimenti vi intrappolo in una dimensione parallela e noi ci vedremo in un prossimo video. Ciao ciao!